I'm Lindsay, a former micro apartment dweller with a love of hiking and camping. A few months ago, after a lot of setbacks, I finally bought this Chevy Express cargo van to convert into a camper. And with hours of hard work and some quality time with a bunch of power tools, I've already made some promising progress. So follow me as I build out my van with the hopes of eventually achieving my goal of visiting every national park here in the United States. So I feel really scattered right now, mainly because it's getting to the point where there are now multiple aspects of the build that I have to think about concurrently. And I'm a little afraid to make a move because it feels like I'm definitely about to make a mistake. Technically, the next thing I have to do is insulate the van. But while I do that, I also need to consider where I'm going to place my furniture and how I'm going to wire up the lights and outlets that I want to put in later. So with all of that in mind, I'm spending the night in the van to figure out any layout and design details I possibly can. As far as equipment goes for this, I really only need my tape measure and this painter's tape, which I will use to both measure and outline the possible layouts. But I also have brought along a couple of other items with me that I know will need their own permanent space in the van eventually, so I'm hoping that I can also use those to determine the most practical layout as well. The first thing that needs a permanent home in the van is my cooler. There's really only one place that I can really put this, and that is on the driver's side, just in front of the rear wheel well and behind the gas tank cutout. So I'm hoping that I can place it there and build some sort of cabinetry around it that allows me to access it from both the top and from the sides whenever I need to pull it out to fill it with ice or dump it out or whatever. The next thing that I have to find a place for is my water supply. So this is a 5-gallon jug that I just bought at Walmart. It has a nice little handle on it because I will obviously have to refill it every once in a while. But I also have this little USB powered pump faucet on it. I love this thing. It flips out. There's a tube running down in there and you just charge it up and you can press a button to automatically, it gives you 1 cup of water when you press the button once. I won't demonstrate it now because it would just spray water all over the floor, but I really do love this thing. And I think I'm just going to end up putting this water storage container right next to the cooler and make this a little kitchen area. I'll probably maybe put this up on a platform with some storage underneath maybe to kind of bring this faucet up to counter height. So we'll see what happens with that, but for now I think this is probably the most practical location for it. The last thing that I have to think about for placement is this battery. This is going to power all of the lights and outlets back here, but because I've already placed those 2 other items on the driver's side of the van, it kind of means that I have to put this on the passenger side so that there's sort of an even weight distribution on both sides. So you'll hear more about this battery in the next video, but it is heavy as hell. So at the very least, it's definitely going to balance things out. I've ultimately decided I'll put it right here, right near the door, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to build a cabinet / counter sort of thing right here that will house both this battery and will also have the fuse box inside of it. much the final layout. Honestly, I didn't think that blue tape would make me so excited, but it really feels like I have a good idea of like what it's gonna look like and how the space is gonna feel a little bit more. So all that's really left to do is put it to the test tonight and see how practical the layout really is. So last night wasn't like the coldest night I've ever had by any stretch of the imagination, really, but like insulation kind of would have been nice regardless. Anyways, I think I've procrastinated here long enough, but at least I have a plan, and I think I am ready to start insulating. After changing my mind about it literally 3 different times, I finally decided to go with Havelock wool for the van insulation. And that's basically because out of all the possible materials I looked at, it seemed like this was the best quality, it had the most benefits, and it was the easiest to install. Each of these bags were about $150, but I think even if I had gone with something cheaper like XPS foam board, it would have totaled up to around the same amount, maybe a little bit less. I haven't done the exact math on all of it, but I think it's worth it to not have a huge hassle, pain in the ass experience of trying to install this insulation. So all that deliberation aside, I'm ready to insulate, and now I just hope I have enough of this. So right now I'm just using this spray adhesive, but I did see in a couple of videos people mentioning that if you don't really cover it up in a timely manner to hold it in place, the wool can start to fall away from the walls. So I haven't really seen a legitimate solution for this yet, so let me know if there's a better way. There probably is, but I've just seen people use duct tape to hold it in place. So as shitty as it looks, if it becomes a problem, I might just have to do that. Well, I just spent the better part of my Saturday turning this van into a furry, but I think it is complete, and now I have all these lovely emotional support walls that I can come to and pet for comfort when I'm feeling insecure about the build. I stayed at my dad's house last night, so I could literally just walk out the front door in the morning and come work on the van. But I found this cute little Emerson College fleece, so since it's gonna continue to be cold again today, decided I'll wear this while I work and hopefully make some progress. My next move is attaching these furring strips to all the ribs of the van so that eventually I can attach the ceiling walls and furniture to them. And I've decided to do this using riv nuts and bolts because I feel like that is much more secure than just using plain self-tapping screws. In order to do this, I had to drop about $40 on this hyper-specific piece of equipment called a riv nut tool. What this does is create a nice machine-threaded hole inside a surface that you can't access the backside of. So in my case, these metal ribs that go all along the van. I also had to buy this chunky little stepped drill bit so I could drill a hole big enough for the riv nut to slide into. Then I just used the tool to insert it and crimp it down, and now there is a nice, stable, threaded hole to bolt the wood directly into. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. I may have just drilled straight through the roof of the van. I was trying to get a hole in this rib in the ceiling so I could attach the riv nut in there. And I just went straight through. Shit. Like, I don't think I need to panic because I have certainly cut and filled bigger holes in this roof. But I don't know what I'm gonna do for now. I think I might have to get up there with some lap sealant. Honestly, I'm just glad that I still have this stuff. I am way too weak to be doing this. It's pretty apparent. My arms are incredibly sore and it takes me really long to get the riv nuts attached, but I'm finally finished. So all of the ribs are ready for the wood to be attached, but it's like 3 p.m. now and the sun is probably gonna go down in a half hour, so I'm gonna save that for another day. So it's been raining like all day, which is why I am backed up directly next to the open garage door at my dad's house. And I'm hoping to do some of the furring strip stuff today. I still don't necessarily have all the hardware I need. I still need some of those metric sized nuts, which are really hard to find in hardware stores. And I have added some duct tape strips up to the ceiling here. This was starting to sag right in the middle here. So I just did the rest of it as a precautionary measure. But I'm honestly like a little concerned right now, or like confused when it comes to the furring strips. I had intended to attach them all vertically, like directly right onto where the ribs are, but it looks like it might need to be a combination of vertical and horizontal. The ribs are a little bit too curved, to have the wood conform to it perfectly without cracking, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, and I don't really know how to do that yet. So I ended up running out of bolts the last time you saw me, but now I have about 30 of these, and I think I can actually finally finish the furring strips today. I think I did it. That's all the furring strips on, so now I think I might get to move on to doing something resembling a wall. So basically, now that everything is attached, my hope is that I can attach some little like pieces of plywood, mainly to this wall, but basically any of the lower walls that will eventually be covered up by furniture or cabinets or whatever. So that I can sort of protect the insulation and also just cover up some of this mess because I think it makes me feel better. So that's pretty much all I have time to do for now because I'm actually about to take sort of my first unofficial road trip in the van. My brother has flown in from Los Angeles and together we're driving down to Florida to see family for Christmas. So I figured I would actually finish out this video by taking you along for the ride. Iconic map look. Like literally there's a big fucking sign that just says Stonewall Jackson Death Site. Mood. We're at a gas station in Virginia. We spent last night in Maryland at a national forest, which was actually a pretty nice spot, but it was freezing. So I'm just glad that the van started because I was scared that the battery was going to be frozen in 27-degree weather, but we're here. We're really caffeinated. And I think we're going to head down to a truck stop so we can shower before we keep going. Much better. Okay, we only have 5 more hours until the spot that we wanted to stop for the second night.
Alright, so let's just keep going, I think.
Yeah, let's do it. Last night we ended up coming to this really nice location, actually. It is across the street from these old church ruins. It's pretty empty here. It's just kind of a little waterlogged right now because it rained all night, but today is supposed to be pretty nice. I wish I could spend a little bit longer here, honestly, just because it's interesting. But maybe we can sort of do a little bit of exploring of the old church ruins, and also investigate that thing over there, which I can only describe as a literal steaming pile. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know why smoke is just coming out of some dirt. But maybe I will go over there and investigate to find out what the hell that is, and pick up a little bit of trash before we try to get out of here. I guess. There's a fire. There was a fire under there, actually. I don't know if they're just burning brush or what. Weird.
You should start rapping.
I know them with a buddy. She comes out to the telly. Medicine, but I'm calling her money. I don't even know the rest of the words.
The smoke's too much, honestly.
I'm choking.
Honestly, this is the cheapest music video set ever.
Thank you. Ew. That's pretty much all I can do for now, because I filled up the entire bag. So y'all are disgusting. Stop it. Get some help. It's probably just kids coming here to drink beer and throw it in the bushes, but not great. Well, the van held up relatively well after over 1,200 miles, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any driving in the next couple of days whatsoever. But when I do return home, there's a lot of work to be done, so I will see you again very soon in the new year.